Hi, my name is Jan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's subject is flexibility. I use usually this analogy between the body and the door. You can varnish, paint, do whatever you want to the door, the frame itself. If you don't work on the hinges, the door may just not work and it's useless and it may look pretty, but what's the point? So yeah, I had a friend who started as a student and then became a friend, and she asked me, like, I go to the gym, but I've heard it's not compatible to do yoga and lift weights. And I was like, well, yes, definitely, you can improve the frame and the hinges. So I ended up working with her on the hinges. And so it's about the articulations and finding out the amplitude in which the articulation and the joint can move. For that, please, if you haven't watched that yet, watch the anti-rheumatic series that I'm trying to make more and more known around the world with this channel. It's quite incredible, the effects it has, and you can do it no matter your age, no matter your health condition, because you can do it lying down on your bed, on a chair, standing, sitting on a mat, wherever you want. Really, it's great. So I'm going to go through some of the theory behind the articulation and the stretching, because, well, it's kind of important to have a functional body that is healthy and that can work in its full capacity. So when a muscle is tight, when you have a pain, because let's say this muscle here is, the trapezius muscle, is a bit bulgy, you feel like you need to let go, stretch, make it go long and smooth and soft again. In yoga, we don't consider that a healthy muscle is bulky. A healthy muscle is long and soft. So stretching is, for that reason, a very important part of yoga. And I'm going to explain to you a couple of notions that I think need to be shared. So it's about the attachment of the muscle in the body. So a muscle, by essence, is being attached to a bone, to another bone, via a tendon, whatever. But basically, let's say this is a muscle, and this is the first attach, and this is the second attach, right? And what you want to stretch is to pull away those two pieces, those two articulations, right? So we're going to put that into action and into explanation right away. Let's say for the calf that we want to stretch the calf. So we're going to place the foot like this, with the toes slightly higher, the heel resting on the mat. You keep the leg straight and you're going to move forward. This is how you stretch a calf. If my foot is flat, my leg is straight, I move forward, nothing much happens. Because I'm elevating the front of the foot, I'm going to create that tension, because the calf is being attached at the bottom of the heel and behind the knee. So if I bend the knee, I cannot stretch the calf, whether I flex or point my foot, right? If I flex the foot and keep it like this, maintain it and block it like this, I block also the back of my knee, so I keep the leg straight and I move forward, then I'm going to stretch the calf muscle. Makes sense, right? So I invite you to try at home. If you don't have a block, just a tall book or a dictionary, you can roll up your mat and have the same experience. You can even use stairs or just something to lift the front of your foot. Even the wall here, but the angle is not right, so it wouldn't be so obvious for you. But toes up, make sure you do both. Toes up, heel down, leg straight, and you move forward. And the more you go forward, the more it's going to stretch your calf. Don't hurt yourself, obviously. Maybe you're here and you're like, okay, this is stretching enough. You don't need to go further. It's okay. Breathe. Okay. So now that we've stretched the calves already, we're going to stretch the hamstrings. So it's the rest of the chain here at the back. What's very common is when you roll down and you try to touch the hands with your toes, if you bend the knees, it is not going to pull as much in the back of your legs. Makes sense? The same way, there is another position that's called pyramid. So both legs straight, both hips forward, and you come down and you just staying here for me pulls already enough behind that front leg. And you stay here and you breathe. If you can come down, good for you. If you can't, it's fine. You can use a block to stay elevated. As long as you don't hurt the back and rounded it like this, you're good. Okay, you can change the side just one foot at a time. Both hips forward, legs straight, back straight, and relax, breathe. So it's because the hamstring is being attached at the back here in the hip and here behind the leg. So if you bend the knee, it's not going to stretch, right? So you have to keep the knee straight. And then if you round the back, it's going to release the tension of the hamstring. So you want to keep the pelvis tilted forward, so the back is going to be straight. Breathe, one more. Okay. Now, for the mobility of the hips, we're going to do some leg throws. So if you bring your knee up and then you bring it back like this, you're going to stretch the front line here in the groin. And so up, the muscle is being very round because there is no tension, it's not being pulled away like this. But as soon as you bring the leg behind and you stretch it and the leg is straight behind and you're bringing your hips down and the front leg is forward, it's really going to stretch here the groin. Can you feel it? I think I hear a yes. Stay there and breathe. For the balance, make sure that you keep the distance of your hips when you go back. If you come here like this on a line, you're going to lose balance. It's just mechanic, basic physics. Okay. The other side, so knee up and behind. Warm up with some movements like this. And after a while, okay, you can go and sit down, sink your hips down, keeping the back leg straight. It's going to stretch even more that groin. Three more. Okay. Now, let's move on to the thighs. So the thighs are attached from the knee to the inside of the pelvis. So we're gonna go back like this. Knees bend, it means that they are stretching the attach of the muscle forward. But to stretch it back, you want to lean back. And to create more length in your thigh, you can bring the hips slightly higher. Can you feel it? Well, I'm gonna come down a bit with my hands. You don't have to mimic my position.
I prefer you to feel the stretch I'm describing and that you adapt it to your body, and your body is going to evolve. Some days are good, some days are less good. So some days you may feel like, oh, I can go far, but the next day you can't. It's fine. Don't be too nasty with yourself. Be indulgent. Very good. So if you send the hips up, it's going to really stretch the thighs suddenly. You have the same type of stretch lying on your belly, catching the left foot. So you bring the knee towards the buttocks, you send the knee in that direction behind you, and at the same time that left hip is going down towards the mat. And here you have a good stretch for your thighs. Very good. Breathe, do the other one. Just observe the feeling. So you can do those stretches by yourself whenever you need to. And you understand a bit more what's happening and yeah, what to do when you need to do it. Yes. Next one is the glutes. Very important. So usually we do the pigeon, but today we're going to do another one. So legs straight in front of you. We're going to do figure 4 to stretch the glutes. So legs straight in front of you. Bend the left leg on top of the right. Bend the right knee. Okay. If your back is rounded like this, it's not going to pull here. You need to create length in your glutes to tilt your pelvis forward. So you don't sit on the sacrum and the base of the spine. You really sit on the last vertebra of the spine. Can you see? So it's like tilting the pelvis forward. Okay. Maybe that foot is more or less close to the buttocks. Maybe that foot is more or less high, more or less in. Let's do the other side. So you cross the leg like this, and then you bend. So what I was saying is that foot's more or less high, more or less in. You have many variables, but always try to keep your back straight and don't tell me, no, I didn't feel. It's very intense. I'm quite flexible in my glutes, but it's always a very, very good stretch. Three more breaths. Okay, and release. So, last one is for the adductors. So, we call it straddle or pancake. You can rub your inner thighs to warm them up. And if it pulls too much and if you can't sit up straight with the spine upright, it means you should bring your legs a bit more closer to each other. Again, it's not about mimicking me, it's about how you feel. So lengthen your spine and you can do some movements around just to loosen up your pelvic area, because it's again a different position for your legs, so for your pelvis and your back, and it's not, usually your body is not used to do that. So be kind to yourself, adjust, go step by step, maybe a bit more to the sides. Maybe you want to do some rolls again, both ways. Toes in and out. Can you already feel that it's more loose and that your upper body can come down straight, a bit more. And the more you practice that on a daily basis, the easier it's gonna get. And that's the moment that you gain flexibility. It's about stretching daily. And you have some passive stretch, so you can just be like, okay, I'm staying like this, trying to relax as much as possible. Or you do some movements like this, and it's a bit more dynamic, and you go forward, you put a pressure, active, dynamic, or passive. You just relax. Very good. Slowly come back up. Slowly bring your legs back together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you soon again on my channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any video, and you can do some more videos for the shoulders, for example, that we didn't cover today, if you click on that link here. Cheers, have a good day.